Welcome back to Season 3 of Expedition Bigfoot. I'm your host Aggie.
And I'm your host Emma. We start off this season by returning to where the cast left off last year, in Washington. Where, as you remember, Russell found some footprints. But, due to wildfires, the expedition was cancelled.
This year, they believe will be their year. They are using something real inventive. A drone to drop primate pheromones to draw Bigfoot out into a clearance near where the Bigfoot's tracks were found last year. This method was used to make the Scoopman cast, where many believe a cast was made of a lying down Bigfoot. This search area will cover 2 square miles. Mariah says this has never been done before at this scale, and if there is a reaction to the pheromones, they will see it.
That night, the crew begins to hear something move in the forest. The sounds then start to come from everywhere. Mireya and Ronnie see a lot of deer tracks, and Mireya becomes worried that it may get Bigfoot to become more aggressive. They then hear some coyotes barking in the distance, which causes an alarm amongst the crew. Bryce hears some screeching, like baby deer, and gets some serious creep vibes.
Ronnie and Mireya meet up and Ronnie says there was a large creature heading south behind him. Mireya thinks it was tracking the river and decides to use the for a guide. They found a large deer in the woods and believe something large killed it and now believe the pheromones worked. The computer algorithm has scaled a 30,000-acre square area for them to search. Ronnie and Mireya are heading south to search on the river to see what they can find.
Bryce talks to a man named Owen. He grew up in a religious community. He tells a story that one night around 1:30 a.m. his family heard a large howl. He had never heard that sound before and has never heard it again. Then there were 4 large crashes, which he describes as footsteps. It was 40 feet from the first step to the last. When it ended, the family could see a creature's head, arms and torso. He said that things that he was told were not real became real. He was petrified. He has never told anyone this story, as his mom threatened to whoop him if he did. She died recently, and he is telling his story.
Bryce plays some howling noises to him. He goes nuts and says what he heard. He begins to act like ICK Woods at a deli, screaming that was the sound he heard. It was recorded close by. He mentions that lived near a lake and is scared to go back, but tells them to go. Bryce thinks it's the perfect location to find Bigfoot.
Russell stows away up on a mountain to get a good view of the area. To keep hidden, he builds a blind. He is using a EMF blanket to hide any electronic pulses from any creatures. Russell completes his lean-to and uses a high-definition camera to search the area below. He discovers a large black object, which he believes is moving. He wants the video footage analyzed. And he wants to investigate the area to find if there is any DNA or hair. As he believes Bigfoot is nocturnal, he doesn't want to search at night.
Mireya discovers some sticks placed into some rocks in the middle of the river. It was placed there, and maybe it's a fish trap. Ronnie believes it could be Bigfoot behavior from watching Native Americans. Many locals will avoid an area if they think Bigfoot is nearby. They then hear rocks falling, and Ronnie thinks he sees a big bipedal shape in the forest that quickly disappears. Ronnie says they are in its fishing spot and it doesn't want them there. Mireya decides that this is the place she wants to set up camp for the night.
Russell searches 3/4 of a mile away from his camp for evidence of what he saw in the camera. He only discovers double-step bear tracks. He mentions that he hopes he didn't see a bear in his camera, like he did last year when he thought he found Bigfoot. And now he is upset that he and the cameraman will be out after dark. He is mad at himself that he arrived so late and now is going to bed for the night. But, later that night, he is awoken and believes something big is moving above his camp. He can hear it breathing. He sticks a camera outside to capture it and will have to wait until next week.
Meanwhile, Bryce is setting up camp near the lake to catch anything that comes near it. He scans the area with a thermal and finds nothing. That will do it for this week. I can't wait until next week to see what Russell finds. In other exciting news, Keith will be at the Forest County Bigfoot Festival June 10, 11, 12, 2022 in Marionville, Pennsylvania. He'll be selling pins and other Bigfoot memorabilia and introducing a Mothman pin. I hope to see you there.
And I'm Emma Holmes. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you next week.
Thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe to our channel. Please like, comment, subscribe and share. See you next week.